Hey guys, it's Mike, the head of marketing at Heartbeat. And in this weekly update, I've got news for you about voice rooms. They are back and looking sweet in the new UI. I got news that we are still hiring, accepting applications for a couple of really awesome jobs. And we have an amazing tutorial coming up in the heart about landing pages. Plus, I thought I'd leave you with a little bit of marketing 101 on how to grow your community. Let's get right into it. Okay, so voice rooms had a temporary service gap, we'll call it, where they were not available to everyone on all access points like desktop, mobile, but they are fully back. Wanted to let you know the presence indicators, all the things that you love about voice rooms integral to Heartbeat is there. Now, if you're like, Mike, what you talking about? Let me show you. And let me, if you know about these, show you how cool they look in our desktop UI. So we're going to jump into my community. This is the real gym community. It's where people grow their money for entrepreneurs. It is my community. I was running this thing before I became a team member, Heartbeat. People pay to be here. It's authentic. But let me show you about voice room. I have a drop-in voice room group right here on the side. People can create voice rooms using the plus button on the side here. The pop-up, you create the name as per usual. But I'm going to just join this one that's already existing to make it real easy. I'm going to click join. It dials up right here, and I'm in a voice-only voice room. If other people drop in, you can see my user account has appeared underneath that drop-in, and they will stack up as other people join. This would be hilarious if during this demo, people in my community jumped into it. But I also want to show you this super cool thing. If you turn on camera, ooh, look at this sucker up here in the upper right. This is, I'm going to look at the camera, like, wait, I got to look and, okay. When you guys are on video, the voice room that is open, when people have access to this voice room, if it's to everybody or if it's to certain access groups, we'll see it happening up here in the top right in this sidebar. Lots of new things are going to be coming to this sidebar functionality, but we're really excited to have this voice room indicator right here. Now, you can expand it by clicking the pop-out, and this is the usual branded UI that you would have. My community's hero color is orange, so the highlight that I'm talking is orange. If there were other people, that orange would go back and forth. If I pause for a minute, the orange goes away. That's exactly the thing. It's a highlighting of who's talking. And I can screen share. I can mute myself. Other settings. I can add people to this chat right away, right like that. Super awesome. I'm going to hang up this call right now just so people don't come back in. But guys, if you've been longing for some integral FaceTime or voice-to-voice time in your community, it's back. Take a gander at it, get comfortable with it, announce it to your members, get them used to interacting with each other in ways other than just the posting, which is awesome, or the chatting, which is awesome, and forge some connections. This is also the thing I recommend my members use with the one-to-one matchup feature, a great way for people to connect and get to know one another and build camaraderie in your community. So I did also want to go over a little bit of a marketing 101, not a full lesson, not a tutorial. I just want to hit you with some quick things that if you're like 99.9% of folks on Heartbeat, you want to grow a community business. You want to acquire members. You want to achieve recurring revenue every month. You want to benefit from people subscribing to being a part of your amazing space. Easy to articulate that goal. Sometimes it can feel a little hard to achieve that. And sometimes I think for folks with a platform like Heartbeat, it's so easy to create the thing that we somehow juxtapose that against the difficulty of going to market with the thing that we made. But it doesn't have to be. And that's what I wanted to talk a little bit about today. So I whipped together this quick list, not because I'm trying to make a whole demo out of this, but because I just wanted you to be able to come back, screenshot, and cover some stuff on your own pacing. To grow a community, the most fundamental thing, there's only 4 steps, just 4. You need a thing to sell, you need attention, you need a way to get paid, and you need a way to deliver the thing you promised. When you boil down all the extra stuff we're going to get to in a minute, that's all you really need. And so the cool thing about this is the thing to sell, really easy to do on Heartbeat. The way to get paid, really easy to do with Heartbeat payments. The way to deliver, that's baked into the platform. Those of you who have learned how to build a community on Heartbeat, you've got 3 out of 4 steps in the bag. And I wanted to give you permission to feel good about that, and I wanted you to feel encouraged about that. And if you're just starting, know that these 3 steps are going to be easier for you to check off because you're building on Heartbeat. You'll be able to make the thing, whether that's a bundle of docs, tickets to events, a subscription to access channels and one-to-one matchups, and all the other things that we offer on the platform. To get paid, Heartbeat Payments. You connect Stripe account. And after that, every time you build the thing to sell, all the infrastructure to get paid is baked in. In fact, the affiliate structure that we have built in is automatically baked in to either credit people off of their subscription or provide you with information you need to do a PayPal payout. All of the payment infrastructure is already part of the Heartbeat experience. And to deliver, we create the member accounts for them, for you. They can just log in and they can experience all the things that you build into the community. When you create the content, the means of accessing that content is part of Heartbeat. So this leads us with the fundamental ingredient of a bit of attention, and that's just marketing in a nutshell. You need to be able to reach a market. And so I wanted to break down what it means to get attention, because it's not just build it and they will come. But I want to encourage you that if you break this down to small enough steps, you can really achieve this. So to break down more what that means, you need to identify and assess the market you are interested in helping. Who? If you guys haven't checked out Who Before the How is a recording we did recently from a tutorial from The Way How is a growth agency, amazing AI prompts, amazing frameworks that you can use to identify who it is that you want to help. Now, when you know who you want to help, and you might know this already if you're here interested in building your community, identify a problem that you can objectively solve. And I say objectively, like you need someone other than you or your mom to agree that you could solve this problem. Because let's face it, everybody has somebody in their life, whether it's a mom or not, who's like, you can do anything. We need an objective evaluation of, can you solve the problem for this person? And that might just mean you've got maybe 2 years more experience than the people you're helping. Maybe that's all it takes. Maybe you've figured something out because you've gone to the bottom of the YouTube rabbit hole and they haven't yet. There's another way you could share that knowledge. But the problem isn't the only thing you need. You need to understand the pain that that problem is causing that person you want to help. Because people feel symptoms. They don't feel a clogged artery in their heart. They feel their arm went numb during a heart attack. That's what I mean here. What is the pain that somebody is feeling? And then focus on building an audience. This could be through social, through email, through advertising targeting. You can choose. Through empathy by offering help for free. So empathy is tactical here. I see you with that arm that is numb. Numb arms are annoying. Numb arms are scary. I hear you. Here are my stories of working with people who also have numb arms. It's okay. Let's all bond together and be the numb arm crew. It sounds kind of facetious in the example, but people have pain. And if they will bond together, not to find commisery, but to find a sense of belonging and to feel understood, to feel seen, to feel heard. That's what the fundamental of audience building is about. Offering help for free, engaging in the comments is the most fundamental way to help. Answering DMs is the most fundamental way to help. Offering free lead magnets for people signing up to your email address, and then offering value in the emails that you send out is a great way to do it. Delivering that value through ads is a great way to do it. It doesn't matter what channel, but it's always about giving. You want to make deposits into the Goodwill bank account before you try to make a withdrawal of them taking action with you. Then you need to create an offer that solves the problem. This is really usually not all that hard when you've gone through these first few steps, because that act of empathizing teaches you an awful lot about what the problem solution needs to be. And then create manageable marketing motions, like one or two. You're probably a solo or a small team doing this. So pick one or two motions that help you do the fundamentals of marketing. Now, I broke this out into ridiculously baby steps, so I'm going to rip through them real quick. If you guys have questions, by all means, we can chat that. We could always chat it up in like Ask the Community or in the Hearth. It's a great place to do that. But you need to prove that you understand the pain. Tactical empathy. You need to connect the dots from the pain that your customers, your audience is feeling, to the root cause. Like, hey, guess what? That numb arm, you might be, here's why you have numbness. This is what happens and why a heart attack is bad. You need to explain the opportunity cost of ignoring the problem. What's it cost if you ignore that numbness? Because more often than not, guys, we're not competing against each other in the community space. There's so much abundance out there in the online economy. We're competing against the status quo of doing nothing. We need to inspire people to take action. And so you need to show them that there is a cost to doing nothing. and that the cost of your solution is actually less than the cost of doing nothing. Compare the before and after of solving the problem. If you can narratively explain the difference between the suffering and the solution, people will appreciate what that transformation looks like. And then you need to position your offer as a transformation from pain to solution. Now, I'm going to pause here for a minute. I'm going to break this in half. That may seem like a lot, but if you break them into little tiny steps, each one of those could be a separate post or a separate email or a separate ad or a separate drip in your newsletter. Like, all of these different things are achievable, and you kind of need to serve them up in a mix, because the audience that you reach is going to be a mix of people who are at different stages of awareness in this stack. So think about this. This is what it takes to grow. Now, once you have positioned your offer as a transformation, that's not enough. People think like, oh, I'm just going to have a really great positioning statement. Here's my landing page. Here's the sign up link from Heartbeat. Let's just get this money flowing. And sometimes all of a sudden it feels like the momentum stops there. And it's like, why? Why does the momentum stop? It's not actually because you're not valuable, or you're not authoritative enough, or you don't have the expertise, or your product is wrong. It's not because of that. You often need to provide proof that the solution works for people like the one that you're targeting. This is very simple. Testimonials are the most fundamental level. If it's a higher ticket, you might need more of a case study where it's a testimony plus a description of the transformation from before to after, the challenges and the outcomes, and which solutions you offered helped them. You then also want to create urgency or a fear of missing out. This doesn't mean necessarily a literal countdown clock. This doesn't mean buy now, like as seen on TV techniques. But there is an urgency to solving the heart attack pain. Once you understand that heart attacks, when you feel that pain, are kind of inevitable, that alone can create urgency. Or the transformation, if you share stories of people who are living their best life after that transformation, there's a fear of missing out from that transformation. And then this is where we come back in to help you. Make purchasing frictionless, right? That sign-up link, click, join, one-click checkout. Apple Pay is defaulted on mobile. We've got you covered there. Over-deliver on the promise. Have a really great community experience that surprises and delights. If you promise 3 things that are really valuable and worth the sticker price, give them a 4th thing. Don't necessarily have to spell out everything in the sales page if it sells them, and then you can add some other special value. This is where workflows with a DM that sends a little special extra something can really make a difference. And then as you go through, capture more testimonials. Don't forget to ask current customers to provide testimony when they're happy with being members, and ask for referrals. Use our affiliate program that's baked into Heartbeat. And then don't forget that upselling current customers is a really great way to increase revenue per customer. We've got you covered with upsells automatically part of the Heartbeat platform. And renewals are prompted by the way you build your offer. There's reminders that they could be locked out. You can set up reminder emails in Stripe that things are going to be renewed. You can set up workflows to email or DM people when they're getting close to renewal windows. All of these things are how you keep the customers that you went through all that effort to win. Now, I know this was like a little mini tutorial out of nowhere, but I really wanted to show you guys that it's not a mystery. There are steps you can take after you build the thing to be able to sell it successfully and scale that success successfully over time. That is what we are indexing our entire roadmap, our internal North Star metrics, everything that our team is accountable to is built around your community succeeding. So I'm sharing a little bit of this roadmap of some of the steps that you should think about. When you have questions, reach out to peers in the Hearth. Search our resources in the Hearth resource library. There are all of these aspects of what it takes to grow community. We've covered so many of them. And of course, if you need help, when you ask, you're going to pick the collective wisdom of 4,000 plus community builders that are in the Hearth. An incredible resource, just peer-to-peer, to be able to help you grow. And of course, check out all the different events that we have coming up. And speaking of events in the Hearth, coming up on Wednesday, the 20th of August at 1 p.m., we have how to craft a community landing page that connects. we are welcoming Matt Cece, who is an expert in all things conversion and marketing. He is a web designer, and he has built landing pages that have been trusted by some of the biggest names in the community entrepreneur space. Tom Ross, Jay Klaus, Tatiana Figueroa, Pat Flynn, Carrie Melissa Jones. These are names that we know. And Matt Cece's been behind some of their most impactful sales pages. Matt is joining us, and he will help your community page do more than look good. And this will be an interactive session where you're going to be able to get a simple formula to craft the copy, the sections that make your audience feel seen and excited to join. As a marketer myself, there are certain points in the buying journey where you're most likely to see drop-off. The landing page is one of them. This is a place where you're going to either get a bunch of traffic and a huge bottleneck will occur and a small amount of sales will come out the other end. 1-2% improvements on this page have enormous revenue impact downstream, and I want you to have that positive revenue impact. So if you haven't, RSVP for Craft a Community Landing Page That Connects, again, August 20th, 1 p.m., hosted by Matt Cece. I'll be there. There are 71 other people who will be there. I hope you'll be there too. And real quick, I want to remind you guys that we do still have open roles we're accepting applications for on jobs.heartbeat.chat. Check it out, the website. I'll link it in the email. If you know somebody who specifically is engineers, so React Native engineers, software engineers, we're looking for a chief of staff to help us with operations. We got an open post for product design. Have folks apply if you know them, or if you yourself are. I'm biased. I applied to one of these jobs at one point, and look at me now. Share these far and wide. Get the quality people to apply. We're really excited to grow the team. Check it out. And that's everything that I have for you guys in this weekly update. As always, I'm Mike, the head of Marketing Heartbeat, and I'll see you guys next time.